The United Kingdom is facing a period of significant economic decline, characterized by stagnating growth, rising inflation, and mounting public debt. This video examines the key factors contributing to this downturn, including the long-term impacts of Brexit, political instability, global conflicts, and the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. The decision to leave the European Union has profoundly impacted the UK's economy. Trade with the EU, which accounts for nearly 50% of the UK's exports, has been hindered by new tariffs, regulatory barriers, and customs checks. Industries like fishing, agriculture, and automotive manufacturing have been hit hardest, with reduced access to European markets and labor shortages due to stricter immigration rules. Additionally, foreign investment in the UK has dropped significantly as businesses seek stability within the EU. This isolation has slowed economic growth, with the UK now trailing other advanced economies in recovery. The UK's political landscape has been marked by frequent changes in leadership, with 5 prime ministers in under a decade. Each new administration has brought differing policy priorities, leading to inconsistent economic strategies. For instance, short-lived tax reforms and spending plans have created uncertainty in financial markets, undermining investor confidence. This instability has delayed critical reforms in infrastructure, healthcare, and energy policy, leaving the economy without a clear direction and exacerbating public distrust in governance. The ongoing war in Ukraine has added to the UK's economic challenges by driving up energy and food prices. As a major importer of energy, the UK has faced steep rises in costs, fueling inflation and triggering a cost-of-living crisis. The government's financial and military support for Ukraine has further stretched the national budget, while global supply chain disruptions have impacted industries reliant on raw materials and imports. The geopolitical instability has compounded domestic economic pressures, making recovery more difficult. The COVID-19 pandemic dealt a heavy blow to the UK economy, with GDP shrinking by a record 9.3% in 2020. The lockdowns forced businesses to close, leading to widespread job losses and bankruptcies. The hospitality, retail, and travel sectors were particularly affected, with many struggling to recover. Public debt soared due to government support measures like furlough schemes, and the National Health Service remains overburdened by backlogs and staff shortages. The pandemic exposed underlying vulnerabilities in the economy, which remain unresolved. Inflation has become a persistent issue, driven by rising energy costs, supply chain disruptions, and post-Brexit inefficiencies. Families face soaring living costs, while public services like the NHS and education suffer from underfunding and staffing crises. Strikes and public discontent have increased as real wages fail to keep pace with inflation, further highlighting the growing divide between economic policy and public well-being. This comprehensive exploration highlights how Brexit, political instability, global conflicts, and the pandemic have collectively contributed to the UK's economic struggles, leaving the nation at a crossroads for its future recovery.